he's clean. Oh, don't you see what I mean? Gotta get away. Holy diver, yeah. Got shiny diamonds like the eyes of a cat in the black and blue. Something is coming for you. Look out! Race for the morning. You can hide in the sun till you see the light. Oh, we will pray it's alright. Gotta get away, get away. Between the velvet lights, there's a truth that's hard to steal, yeah. The vision never dies. Life's a never-ending, we'll say. Holy diver, you're the star of the masquerade. No need to look so afraid. Jump, jump, jump on the tiger. You can feel his heart, but you know he's mean. Sunlight can never be seen, yeah. Holy diver, you've been down too long in the midnight sea. Oh, what's becoming of me? No, no, ride the tiger. You can see his stripes, but you know he's clean. Oh, don't you see what I mean? Gotta get away, get away. Gotta get away, yeah. Holy diver, soul survivor, you're the one who's clean. Holy diver, yeah, the cat's in the blue coming after you. Holy diver, oh, holy diver, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Get away, get away. Holy diver, holy diver, oh, holy diver.
I'm a name on the list. I try to be discreet, but then
it's my final mistake. She's loving by proxy, no give and no take. 'Cause I've been thrilled to fantasy one too many times. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should have walked away. I should have walked away. It was a long, hot night. She made it easy. She made it feel right. But now it's over. The moment is gone. I followed my hands, not my head. I know I was wrong. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should have walked away. I should have walked away. She come out here by midnight. She come out here by midnight. Make me feel so good. Every night about midnight, she comes to my house, make me feel alright. Walking down the street, she knock on the door. Walking down the street, she knock on the door. Oh, she come in my room, make me feel so good. You know what I wanna do? Well, she make me feel alright. She's a natural born woman, natural soul sender, natural woman, natural soul sender. She come here about midnight, yeah. I'll tell you about my baby, yeah. Well, you know she comes around, oh, she's 5'4", midnight, from her head to the ground. Well, she comes around here about midnight, just about midnight. Lord, she makes me feel so good, oh yeah. Make me feel alright, make me feel alright. I was with her. She rocks shows in Tampa, get tickets as low as 61. You might also like, she knows J. Cole, Gasolina, got a Yankee, Gloria, them, and her name is Gloria. Yeah, Gloria. Gonna shout it every night, yeah. Gonna shout it every day. Glory. Okay then. Oh, midnight. She come around here, she make me feel alright. About midnight, walking down the street, she come knock on my door, knock on my door, come in my room, make me feel alright, feel alright. She's a sinner, she's a lover, she's a sinner, she's a killer. What's her name? Her name is Gloria. Gloria. Yeah, Gloria. Wanna shout it every night. Gloria. Wanna shout it every day. Gloria. My name is Gloria. I wanna shout it every night. I wanna shout it every day. And every day. And every day. And every day, John Lee. And every day, John Lee. And every day. She made me feel good. was shaking and pretty loud. My cat is purring, it's scratching my skin. So what is wrong with another sin? The bitch is hungry, she needs to tell. So give her inches and feed her well. More things to come, new places to go. I'm about to leave, it's time for a show. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. My body's burning, it starts to shout. Desire is coming, it breaks out loud. Lost is in cages, till storm breaks loose. Just have to make it with someone to choose. The night is calling, I have to go. The wolf is hungry, he runs the show. He's licking his lips, he's ready to win. On the hunt tonight for love at first sting. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Are you ready, baby? Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Come on, baby. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Rock you like a hurricane. It's early morning, the sun comes out. Last night was shaking and pretty loud. My cat is purring, it's scratching my skin. So what is wrong with another sin? The night is calling, I have to go. The wolf is hungry, he runs the show. He's licking his lips, he's ready to win. On the hunt tonight for love at first sting. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Are you ready, baby? Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Come on, here I am, rock you like a hurricane.
This is Xbox Era. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/Xbox Era. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Everything Xbox Era does is only made possible by the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our MVPs and executive producers are all incredible people, but even more so are our grand benefactors, Croat56, Assassin, and Kevin S. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely and benevolent CEO, Torn Raptor. If you want to become part of one of the best communities on the internet, head to patreon.com/Xbox Era, where your patronage can help keep us alive for another month. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Xbox Era Headlines. The date today is June the 19th, 2025. I'm Sicker Mechanico, and today Jesse and I are going to talk you through all of the latest in gaming news from across the industry, be that Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, or PC, you name it, we're probably going to talk about it. As a bonus for our wonderful Patreon members, we make audio versions of these episodes available to them to listen to in the Patreon app in their preferred podcast application. But if you're on Spotify, you can link your accounts and listen to it there instead. If you want to become a legendary human being, head over to patreon.com/Xbox Era, where you can support us directly. Hey, Jesse.
Hello.
How's your day been?
Great.
Well, I probably have you beat in terms of bad Thursdays.
Well, no, it's mostly because of your day being so lovely.
My day has been poop. But it's lovely to see
the website works again. Thank you.
Yeah. People may not have noticed the outage, funnily enough, but everything broke around, I want to say,
the
11.
front page broke. You could do everything else. So I think if people had direct links and they were like reading Nick's review or stuff, like it just worked. But the actual front page went kaboom.
It got to the point, though, where we had to restore the website through troubleshooting. We identified the issue with some plugins, restore the website to revert it back to a point where I know it was definitely all okay because plugins were updated this morning. But then that still didn't fix it. But what that did mean was that Nick's review got depublished. And I had to then, luckily I saved a version of it that was recently, and I fixed it all up again and we got it back out. But then it turns out after all of that troubleshooting, the actual error was caused by a YouTube playlist.
Thanks,
How
YouTube.
insane is that? Thanks, YouTube. It just stopped working. And I had to rebuild it on YouTube. And the minute I did that, everything else came to life. And I was in mid-rant to the owner of one of the plugins about how their plugin had updated and it had broken everything. And they went, can you turn it back on to show me in real time? And I did, and everything was working fine. So I was like, everything's fine now. We're all fine here. Thank you. How are you?
Good.
It was a useless conversation. Anyway, hello, everybody. Let's talk about some video game news. Apologies if we were slightly delayed going live this morning. We were pumping out what's now going to be our first news story of the day, which we're going to dive right into. Xbox has confirmed, obviously, that AMD are powering their next generation of Xbox consoles in a random, out of nowhere, 2-minute video with Sarah Bond being super energetic and talking through.
She's getting better on not sounding as robotic while reading. It's a tough skill.
Yeah, it is a tough skill.
It's one of those things that, like, even Phil has. When Phil's reading a statement, you can tell it's reading. The toughest one is sounding normal while doing business speak, which is Phil's superpower.
He has got that nailed. But it was a super interesting video, and it's given, I think, the Xbox community a lot of like, ooh, okay, because they've come out and said all of the stuff, and it made me feel good inside because. And people that watch this show, people that watch the Xbox Era podcast, in fact, our community in general will know that for months now, we've been like, Xbox need to start controlling their, people say bad messaging. And the problem is that people report on disparate bits of information and then a narrative is formed, and Xbox haven't, frankly, said fuck all. And then it's like when something else happens, everyone's like, oh, Xbox are bad at messaging. It's like they didn't say anything. We all took this stuff to be fact. And now they've come out and got ahead of it a little bit and said, we are making next-gen hardware. We've got a multi-year partnership with AMD. It's going to extend to consoles in your living room and in your hand. And it's all sounding rather good. And the biggest piece of news, of course, was that it's not going to be tied to a single store. So they are effectively opening up the console ecosystem for Xbox by leaning into their experience on Windows. Now, you can feel different ways about this, right? And I know if Nick were here, Jesse, right, he would be like, and I'm sure we'll get into it on Saturday. But there's more to unpack here. But before we get into AMD's latest kind of output. Jesse, how did you kind of, is the announced kind of what you expected? You know, the rumors we've been hearing this, you know, from various folks for a while now. How are you taking it all?
Vindicated.
The Vindicator.
It's just the most, like, it's everything that we said seemed to be the plan, and then they're like, this is the plan, and then it's laying out everything we've been saying for a very long time.
Yeah,
because it was the plan. It was kind of obvious that it was the plan. Now, if they can pull it off, that's always the big question. Be like, Microsoft always rake steps. Like, I saw the news we'll get into after this, which isn't positive, is like rake step, and it's like, no, that's not the business. Like, Microsoft,
the problem, people don't separate
Xbox,
Microsoft and Xbox. Yeah, they're
like,
just one big giant.
Yeah, so this video, and people are like, how come this wasn't last week? Well, because last week was really to push the thing that's actually coming soon, which is the Ally X. That gets all the headlines, that gets all the love. Then a week later, you're like, and there's going to be more, instead of just like, there's going to be a ton, including this Ally X. Like, they wanted to make it big. And this video also really felt like a, hey, Jez and Tom, we know you're doing your jobs, but the people you're talking to, the people that, like, even if you've got 2 or 3 or 4 sources, like, you've got multiple people because they're both professionals, they know what they're doing, I trust everything they report. But everyone knows, in the long run, if you're not getting actual corporate messaging that's been determined and worked on by many, you're just getting the messaging from those people and how they feel. And, like, maybe the person, and I could be completely wrong, I have not asked Tom, and I would, like, what exactly did your source say to make him think the handheld was canceled? It could literally just be that Microsoft internally said something like, we're shelving it for now, we're going to get back to it. And the person's like, they're never going to get back to it. The moment these things are shelved, they're done. It's essentially canceled. But now this is Microsoft coming out publicly and saying, no, it's not canceled, we're doing it. And this felt like getting back to...
I feel like it is.
Yeah.
I feel like it's actually somewhere in between. And this is just my take, right? If you go back and you listen to Phil talk about, and generally the Xbox leadership team talk about the Xbox Ally X and Xbox Ally, they say, like, Phil, front and center, holding it, our new handheld, ours, mine, ownership. It's right. And it creates a couple of problems because the existing announced Xbox Ally X and Xbox Ally, they will not run your existing console library that you own right now if you're an Xbox player. That is a fact, right? Mm-hmm. And Xbox, rightly or wrongly, they are going to confuse the average Joe on the street by referring it to it as ours, but I feel like it's more a statement of intent. But if I extrapolate that sense of ownership that's being communicated, I feel like a handheld that Microsoft Xbox team were developing could well have been cancelled, and Tom Warren is absolutely on the money. But Microsoft as an entity view partner-led handhelds being developed by whoever using their operating system as theirs anyway. So both could be true. I hope I'm making sense here.
I see
handheld
that
that's internal to Xbox could be cancelled, but they regard the Asus one as theirs anyway.
I see the new video with AMD kind of is more, we are working with them to make chips. And so it's theirs because they are making this bespoke system on a chip. And that makes it theirs. Even if it's a reference, like, it doesn't have to be fully made by an Xbox Surface hardware team. It's Microsoft and AMD working together, as they just said in the article you just pumped out when I noticed the video had gone live. Dr. Lisa Su of AMD talking about working with Microsoft to make a variety of chips across multiple devices. Consoles, like console, handheld, PC, cloud. She named all 4 as things they are working on together. I mean,
for the benefit of this audience, like, I haven't, like, we got this video, you know, Jesse and I wrote an article out and got it out quick before we went live. I haven't heard this yet. Can we play this live and you transmit the audio through to me, or I'll just watch it while you're playing it?
I will go back here.
Because I don't know if folks watching with us right now have even seen this video. So this is AMD now coming up and adding some extra detail to this multi-year partnership from Xbox and themselves. So I feel this would be useful context to sort of have and listen to.
I won't talk
for the benefit of everyone.
And you listen through the stream, because I don't have a quick way to route my desktop audio to you without it also then going out to the stream, so it would double up.
Okay, go.
All right. This is AMD and Xbox advancing the future of gaming. Went live about an hour ago.
AMD and Microsoft are advancing a bold shared vision for the future of gaming, one that enables seamless gameplay across any screen, placing gamers at the center of the experience anywhere. We're so excited to be deepening our relationship with Microsoft and build on the over 2 decades of partnership, innovation, and trust. From the earliest days of the Xbox 360 to the most advanced consoles such as the Xbox Series X and S, and the recently announced ROG Xbox Ally handhelds. Moving forward, AMD will go beyond building custom chips for Xbox consoles to designing a full roadmap of gaming-optimized chips combining the power of Ryzen and Radeon for consoles, handhelds, PCs, and the cloud. And we're doing it all with backwards compatibility, so gamers can access their favorite titles across platforms, delivering on a promise to both gamers and developers. Together, we are building a vibrant open ecosystem that delivers the next generation of graphics and immersive gameplay powered by AI that includes new foundational models to accelerate the state-of-the-art in rendering. From console to cloud to handheld, AMD and Microsoft are building the future of immersive gaming. We are so excited to be working with Microsoft to bring all of this tech to gamers everywhere.
There you go. That's literally, we're working on console, cloud, and handheld together across everything with Microsoft to make hardware. So it's not just going to be like, because that was a big thing, because people are like, the Z3 might not exist because it's just not a big enough market for them to keep spending money in. So this wouldn't be the Z3. This would be AMD and Microsoft working to make something for your console that probably ends up in the cloud. And if it's just running PC stuff, it makes it a lot easier. Zen and Radeon is their CPU and GPU side of things working together like always, you would imagine. But pretty much just straight up saying, we're going to keep working with Microsoft to make Xbox hardware for everything, for consoles, for handhelds, for the cloud, for PC.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and back compatibility across it all. Like, that's the vision.
That's the promise.
Yeah.
And that's the promise, right? So they've said it. And there's so much you could unpack from this, right? People, the funny one to me, and I've been seeing it. I recently wrote an op-ed about, what I jokingly said, what's the point of Xbox? Because I've seen versions of that headline for years now. And I thought, fuck it. Well, here's the point. But I've seen people arguing in the comments section about how, and we've heard Nick, PlayStation will try and block it. And it's like, well, they can't. It's Windows. Here's a wrinkle I'm going to throw. And I don't think it's going to happen, but I can understand a path to it. Is if, from a licensing perspective, Microsoft say this isn't Windows, it's Xbox. But we'll also allow Windows. I don't know where the wiggle room lies. And I'm not
Xbox
legally
runs on Windows now. It's just its own fork of it. So I trust their lawyers to figure it out.
Yes. I mean, it will make Sony look like absolute little petty jerks if they're like, no. But, I mean, it sounds...
Well, people always say, they just go to Steam and Steam would block it. And it's like, why would Steam do that? They want to sell things. And also the entire point of it, they didn't make Steam OS to get off of Windows. They're 98% of their users are on Windows. They're 2% on Linux on Steam. They rely heavily on Windows. Windows getting to more devices just means they make more money without having to do anything. And the entire point of Windows is that it's all open and that Microsoft and other companies can't be dickheads about what works where. That was a big part of the 2000s. Microsoft is, embrace, extinguish philosophy. You're evil, dumb shits. We're going to break you up. Oh God, we'll do whatever you want for the rest of the time. Please don't break us up. A big part of that is Windows just works and is open for everything. And so bringing that to their gaming side of things should only make regulators go, hey, it's what we want.
Yeah. I mean, people trying to pass this off as perhaps something negative. I can't.
It's only good for us.
I can't get on that wagon anymore.
As consumers,
can be taken as a negative.
Only good for us. Yeah, it only would help us if they actually do what they say. The negative could be if you are in that mindset still, and trust me, I get it, of I don't trust Microsoft if they get this much power, because it is a power grab. They are essentially going to become too important everywhere so that they can't be ignored, and then they can really influence the industry even more than they do now. Like that, it's a super long-term, open up every storefront so that we can be incredibly powerful on it, move from them. Like, that's why they're doing it. Yeah, they might lose money in the short term. That's why they've shifted so hard to be MAU and margin focused instead of selling hardware. But in the long term, the goal is to become the Windows of gaming. They are everywhere. You can't be in it without them because they are just too important. So being fearful of that, I get. Because it's not like Microsoft is a good company. And while we've been lucky, I think, with the executives we've had at Xbox overall, where they don't seem overtly evil, it just takes one dipshit getting in there, like one Andrew Wilson type, and then, it all goes to pot.
I will say, and I don't want to get people grabbing their pitchforks, but as great as this is for us consumers, there is something I will say about it, in that the eventual end game of this, and I'm talking 5, 8, 10 years from now, is Xbox is getting out of hardware. That is the reality, in my opinion. And I say that because, as we all know, there is no money to really be made in hardware. Sony, for all of their fantastic PlayStation 5 sales, congrats, it's not where they're making their money, right? And it's the same for all console manufacturers, unless you're willing to really not put the latest and greatest technology in it.
Well, I think the shift is going to be, and the reason I think they'd stick in it is because they're not going to subsidize it anymore. Sony's not subsidizing, Nintendo's not subsidizing. Like, if the next console is $800-900 and they're not losing money on it, and it is the main place to get their storefront, their Game Pass, all that type of stuff, and it doesn't end up costing you money to make, then I think it has a future. If the model stayed, you must subsidize, or else you can't put anything out, and it's only your store on there. That's the only place your store can be making money, so you have to do it. Then I think they might eventually get out of it, because it just isn't growing.
Yeah.
But they won't want to get smaller. They will want to maintain what they have while getting big. Like, they want the cake to be eaten. They don't want the cake to look pretty.
Yeah, I'm just, I feel like that's the eventual end goal. But we're a long ways from that, and the people that might be pushing for that end goal might not be at Microsoft in 5 to 8 years. Like, things might change, but I feel like that's the current kind of like target. But they're just looking at the way the industry's going. I would say it is interesting to think that's the end goal when every announcement right now is more hardware than ever. I don't think they're gonna focus on that one box. I know. I do think they're gonna focus on having 30 boxes that all just work across your TV, your handheld, your consoles. Like, everything's there. It just works. We have a set recommendation on this is what you have to reach, and it will play these games. Like what is an NVIDIA RTX 5080? It is this SoC that we work to make, and then you put all your shit around it. So, like, that reference hardware. That's the interesting part, right? I think they would never stop doing reference. They would maybe not have their own as often, but they would always make their own reference hardware. But we might be looking at a world where you don't have to wait 8 years for the latest and greatest. If you, the consumer, are fed up of, whatever resolution or frame rates you're starting to get on these versions of the games, well, no worries. HP or Asus or pick your OEM has released their latest version, and it's got this much RAM now, and it's got this much features, and they could do that every year, every 2 years. That's a far more like vibrant marketplace where you have your reference hardware, as you said, reference A, reference B, like top end, low end. Developers can target, but it's just the same in effect as developing for low-end PC versus top-end PC, and that's an exciting world. Like, it's so less boring. It's a big mix-up. It's a big change into how things have been done for years, decades, even, and it's exciting. It is taking the PC ability to just get better quickly, but having it just work like a console. That would be seemingly the goal. Like,
you don't like how this is running, there's another thing here. You get it. All your games just work, and they work better just by default. We don't have to patch them. We don't have to do weird things because they're already PC builds that are locked down to just work this way on hardware. And so you get the new hardware, and then they raise their limits a little bit for you. Or if it is just the PC version, maybe you can, if you want to, go in and change things. But you don't have to. And I think that would be the big thing, where if you want to tinker, cool. But it still is that console experience of I load it up, I just have a console UI, I just have console games that work, and if I feel like tinkering with them to change anything, now that possibility is there. But I don't ever have to interact with that ever, like you are forced to on PC or PC handhelds like the Steam Deck or the Ally. Like you have to tinker with them to get things to work. There's no getting around it. So if they can remove the need to ever tinker if you don't want to, I think people will be all for it.
Yeah, it's a super interesting time, ladies and gents. It's fun, right? It's fun. Like you can't be bored if you're an Xbox fan. There's no boredom, at least. Like you're kind of like there's always something new and interesting going on.
They always push gaming news in various ways, whether it's their own hardware.
I would say they always push gaming. That's the thing. Like that people just won't. There's certain folks out there that just don't want to admit it. And yes, they don't always push great trends. Charging for online. Bad call. Don't like it. But like this new world that we're heading to, there's no charging for online. They can't charge you for online play. That's just going to be gone away. It'll be free on these new Xboxes because there's no way they can not merge these two worlds and still try and charge for it. It's not going to happen. Game Pass Ultimate, yeah, that's going to be a thing. But they're always doing new, like, hey, we're going to put a hard drive in consoles. Hey, we're going to put an Ethernet port in. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. And every time, the industry as a whole gets pushed forward. And you can't deny that. You can't be like, no. They don't always do good things, but they always try to do something. We could spend ages discussing and
we probably will on Saturday.
Yeah, so...
with a special guest.
Yes, we do. We have Ryan McCaffrey from IGN joining us on the show this Saturday. He won't be here for the whole thing, maybe like an hour or so, but I bumped into him during SGF. We had a quick chat.
You looked at him eye to eye because you're the same height.
We're about the same height. Yeah, he's a fellow short king. But what I really liked was, and I thought about, especially with all the announcements, I asked him, hey, would you like to come on the show? He said, like, yeah, man. And then I was like, shit, I don't have an email address for Ryan. So I got through him via another podcast he does. And he was immediately like up for it. Like, let's go, let's do this together. So kudos to Ryan, but it's going to be fun to talk with someone that's covered Xbox and been known as the Xbox guy at IGN since I was like 20 something. That was a long time ago. So
you're in your 80s now.
I feel it today. I do feel it. But yes, so tune in Saturday, Xbox Era Podcast live, not on Sunday, as Nick wrote weirdly in his tweet that for some reason the UK's time zone is set to Sunday at 10:30. It's Saturday at 10:30 p.m.
You want a breaking news Xstasis leak? Xstasis.
Of course.
Xbox and Xenia Canary emulator team working on Xbox Classics. The idea is to bring the Xbox 360 and OG Retro to PC, Game Pass, and xCloud with improvements. This is his exclusive tweet.
Wow.
I will share it to you. You can write news.
It's probably going to be after the show at this
point.
Yeah,
I know. It'll be something we do later, but
yeah.
Where the hell's Discord?
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, as we've stated multiple times, this definitely seems to be their goal of getting all your shit to work everywhere. A big part of it would be security. Because like the OG Xbox, the 360 have already been cracked open, but the Xbox One and the Xbox Series haven't really been hacked or cracked open. So once you have an emulator out there and it's just in Windows, it's a lot sketchier. It's really nice not having people cheat if you're only playing on a console on multiplayer, unless they're using a Zim or some bullshit like that. And plus it just means they can't steal the games. which is what third parties really care about. So it will be interesting to see how they navigate all of that.
Yeah, I have to admit, I am intrigued. I'm intrigued as to how they're gonna pull this all together. But hey, that's part of the fun of this crazy
It's
journey
on them.
that they're on.
I'm happy if they want to keep doing these, moonshot crazy things that we were like, you own the default operating system. Make the default operating system better for gaming, please. And then they're kind of like, we're going to make the default operating system around the world way better for gaming. So,
I mean, it sounds great to me.
indeed.
This is Microsoft. I said it in the piece I wrote yesterday. Is they didn't necessarily plan for all of this. This is them. They've tried for 20 something years to win via traditional means, and through their own missteps and their own mistakes, they've been forced into a position where they can't. So they're thinking, well, what can we do?
Mm-hmm.
And they're pushing forward in a completely new and very interesting direction. The key thing for them is to build hardware that does not feel like a PC, but gives you all of the benefits of a PC. And if they can do that, well, we might be in for some very interesting times indeed. Like, the latest rave reviewed Steam indie hit. It's going to be like 2 years before it comes to console. Not if you're on Xbox. You'll just be able to install it.
And thank you to Abdul, aka Zach and Clute, for tagging me on that video. To see it.
Super interesting.
It's got the auto dub. Have you listened to the auto dub on?
No, we could be here all day.
It works fine. No, I mean, so if you're not from that region, it will automatically dub the audio using AI, so you can watch the video and listen to essentially the AI generated captions.
Yeah, I mean, and it's great for Nick. Like Nick with his collection of PC games that he's never been able to play ever. On
Many
this
hundreds
new
of them.
world,
Yeah,
he'll be able to play them all. When he steals Steam codes from our own community, he'll actually be able to use them. So careful, people, with codes. It's a fun and interesting universe that we're heading towards. So
this one would probably get some clicks if we could do it right now. I wish someone was around. Nick.
Yeah, Nick, you're around. Can you write up this news, please, bro?
Yeah, you just need to get an AI translated transcript so you can get accurate quotes. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
This one is exclusively his reporting too. It's not aggregation, according to this headline.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good rumor.
He's been on fire lately after being pretty inaccurate at the end of second half of last year. He's been very accurate so far this year.
I mean, even Brad Sams is commenting on this. All with backwards compatibility. It sounds like the Xbox devices of the future will have an AMD chip that supports the backwards compatibility at a hardware level.
Yeah.
Anything with specific AMD chipsets can play Xbox native games. I mean, that sounds pretty freaking cool.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I don't think they'd get out of hardware.
We could, but they are passing that AMD chipset can go to anyone.
That's what I'm saying. It would just be reference. Yeah, they wouldn't have to do the whole box. They just, here's your sock. You must have at least this much RAM at this speed and all these shits behind it, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Okay. We could carry on talking about all sorts of stuff here.
We got the sad news block coming up. I'm going to move.
Microsoft are also doing horrible things, as in, they're cutting more jobs. It will involve, I should say, Xbox to some degree, according to Tom Warren, but Bloomberg reported exclusively that thousands more of job cuts are aimed particularly at salespeople. From Brody Ford and Matt Day over at Bloomberg. This is all part of the company's latest move to trim its workforce amid heavy spending on fucking artificial intelligence.
Yep.
I inserted the swear word there. That was not Bloomberg's. The cuts are expected to be announced early next month following the end of Microsoft's fiscal year, according to people familiar with the matter. The reductions won't exclusively affect sales teams, and the timing could still change. But there you go. It's interesting because I heard, weirdly, of some Xbox cuts, but it's not something I can go and verify. So
as always with these things, you hear stuff and then someone who can get it verified will inevitably.
Yeah, and Tom's been talking about
it
it for a while, where he was hearing about more cuts, but it's extra infuriating because Satya just said like, or to paraphrase, essentially said AI isn't generating any money right now. It's like, yeah, you're still all the money that you could keep these people going, earning regular money forever, but that's just not what pushes investors. Investors want the next big thing, and they went from NFTs in crypto to friggin' AI, and it's like there are very specific things where AI and LLMs are good at. You keep trying to push, like I bought a new TV and it's got Fire TV, and you can have Alexa make AI art for you, and it looks fucking horrendous. It's so bad. You also just have her make any IP you want, essentially, as long as it's not too sexy, and she'll just toss up some garbage on screen. And like they're trying so hard to figure out how to make this appealing to regular consumers when the actual use case for it is mostly developers and other people having certain tasks automated in really cool ways. Like the health field can crunch so much more data in interesting ways, but people still have to go back and verify because AI is always wrong. Not always. Typically, it's an unbelievably good liar. It just is so confident despite the fact that it is completely wrong on stuff all the time. And Windows Central and others picked up on a news story that I shared, because we know some people that spend their evenings just chit-chatting away with ChatGPT like it's their therapist and best friend and girlfriend. But they're... I read
a news story about a bloke that actually proposed to his ChatGPT girlfriend and cried for half an hour because she said yes.
But yeah, it's like using ChatGPT is bad for you. Like it is bad for the cognitive functions of your brain. It's not. I don't think this stuff's ever going to be great for front-facing consumer. I'll pay money for this use. Like it is. It's wonderful for coding and for some research and stuff like that. But they just keep wasting so much goddamn money on it, on everything else.
Yeah.
And now they're firing more and more people over it. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Come on.
It's not cool, man. It's not cool. But
Nope.
yeah, screw you, Microsoft. You evil big entity.
Yep.
Next up in news, Marathon, Bungie's latest live service extravaganza via publisher Sony, is now been delayed indefinitely. There is no new release window. The game was originally meant to be coming out in September.
Yeah, like the closest we have to an idea is they said it's still this fiscal year, which is by next March. That was their goal.
Yeah.
That wasn't during this announcement. That was during the so weird ass pre-record, like
the
fully
Sony
scripted Sony business update. It was really weird.
Which we talked about
Yeah.
last Tuesday. This Tuesday just gone.
That was the hint that this was coming, because they were like, and it'll still be out this fiscal year. I was like, it's got a date. What do you mean it'll still be out?
I mean, I'm not surprised at the delay at all. It absolutely needed it. My only real thought now is that I don't think a delay is going to make one hell of a difference. I think that unless we're talking 2-3 years back to the fundamental gameplay loop drawing board, this is not going to overcome the stigma that it's generated. They need to go
the
dark.
lipstick on a pig.
That is a classic phrase from my old man. There's only so much lipstick you can put on a pig.
It's not that the game is bad. It's just fine. And I think, like we've kind of seen with FPC Firebreak, being just fine isn't enough. You need a hook. You need a loop that's going to keep pulling people in. And I've never seen anything in this one that would make me think it's going to have that type of long-term appeal. Like, Tarkov's a very specific crowd who are really looking for their milsim. Like, they really want it to feel as realistic as possible. And there's nothing realistic about Marathon. It's not like gorgeous. It's not going to be carried by graphics. The gameplay's fine, but it's also trying to do that mix of sim and arcade in a way that felt a little weird. This will make it a better version of something that has no chance of succeeding in the way it has to for the developer. Like, yeah,
if Sony are hinging their live service revenue daydreams on Marathon, and I hate speaking so brutally about
because they've canceled everything else. Like, as far as they're an enormous publisher who are going to have one first party studio published title this year now. Like they're still going to have, they're really good with the second party games where they're publishing Death Stranding and Lost Soul Aside, which looks cool. Like they'll still have plenty of games, and their main driver for business is third party microtransactions anyways. It's just weird to see that they've gone from banger after banger, year after year, to end last generation into struggling so hard to pivot to trend chase this generation. It's been a weird one.
Yeah, it's been very, very strange. So, yeah, I always feel like, horrible sitting there, if there's people working on it and, here I am going, this sucks.
Yeah, Bungie is full of incredibly talented people.
I just feel like this game doesn't feel like any of the Bungie magic. But then for me, Destiny, like the gameplay was good, but like it just did not interest me, like in terms of like the story and stuff, and the fact that it felt like a job. It wasn't my kind of game. But I could still see that Bungie kind of flair in the way things worked and the way the gunplay felt. But with Marathon, it just felt like everything else. And in this environment, in this industry, everything else isn't good enough. You know what I mean?
Like Arc Raiders was immediately more interesting to me, and I still don't think that game is going to do amazing. It's going to be, I think it might be
It'll
fine.
have a big splash, but the question is, has it got legs? So.
Well, that's the problem, is everyone's so used to Call of Duty and Fortnite and Minecraft and Roblox and the amount of content they all have. And it's like Minecraft's built that up over decades with the full backing of Microsoft and a big team at Mojang. Roblox has sweatshops for exploiting kids, so you don't want to be like them. Allegedly, supposedly, I should add. Roblox is a very weird, super low quality thing, but it doesn't matter because of their target audience. Call of Duty had to completely take most of Activision to feed the beast, and all Epic really does anymore is Fortnite, and you've got 3,000-ish people working on it at any time, probably more. So it sets unrealistic expectations for every other game. Like no one can keep up with that cadence of content, but it's what everyone is used to. They are used to these forever games that are just never-endingly updated, and most studios can't do that. Like Remedy's saying, we're hoping to have 2 more jobs by the end of the year in Firebreak, a game that desperately needs more content to keep people playing it for more than the next 3 days. Like, it sucks.
That's this industry. But yeah, there you go. Marathon. Don't expect it this side of Christmas. Next up, Warner Brothers games have restructured into separate divisions based on key franchises. As per reporting from Variety, this is written by Jennifer Mass. Warner Brothers has restructured into the 3 separate divisions of Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and Mortal Kombat and DC Universe divisions. There you go. Okay.
I wonder where that puts Traveler's Tales.
I have no idea. But per Warner Brothers, 3 current studio heads have been promoted to the role of senior vice president as a part of this restructure. Warner Brothers Games Montreal studio head Yves Lachance has been promoted to senior vice president, overseeing the development teams working on Harry Potter and Game of Thrones games. NetherRealm studio head Sean Himmerich has been promoted to senior VP, overseeing Mortal Kombat and DC. And Warner Brothers Games New York studio chief Stephen Flannery has been promoted to senior VP, Central Tech and Services, overseeing game and publishing technology, customer service, quality assurance, and user research. I guess they plan to align all of their franchises for which they are creating games.
I think it's also to be able to say you're doing good, you're doing bad more clearly in their setup for firing people. I think that's when it comes to anything with HBO and how terribly they seem to be run.
Yeah.
In every like HBO, Warner Brothers Gaming had someone over it that just absolutely destroyed numerous amazing studios. They're gone now. Doesn't mean that everything's going to be fixed, but one can hope.
It's interesting though. I did read a rumor earlier this week that Sony were apparently looking to buy Warner Brothers streaming services and HBO Max. Like, I don't know where that came from.
It was not heavily sourced, and also they've got $40 billion in debt. I don't think Sony would want to take that on.
Yeah, it's risky.
They don't have the money.
Yeah.
That would be 4 times what PlayStation has earned and kept. What PlayStation has kept this entire generation. Just
Speaking
in
of
debt.
PlayStation, if you were a fan of Beat Saber on PlayStation VR and VR2, bad news. Even though I would argue Beat Saber is like almost the quintessential
It
VR
is,
game,
yeah.
they're ending support for PlayStation VR and PSVR 1, PSVR and PSVR 2, I should say.
Mhm.
End of support for updates and downloadable content starts when it was announced, which was back yesterday, I think. And multiplayer will no longer be available starting January 21st next year. You'll still be able to buy and all of that jazz after the multiplayer support ends, but yeah, there's no new updates. There's no new multiplayer. I imagine it's probably costing them more to keep the service up for PlayStation VR players than it is the number of players to justify it.
It is like the quintessential get a workout in, listening to some fun music VR experience. It's kind of,
yeah.
If that game isn't getting enough support to maintain basic fundamental support on your platform, then your platform's dead.
It does make me wonder how Thief VR is going to do when it comes to PSVR 2.
Yeah, I guess a lot of them are just, if it's not extra money to make it, maybe it's not the worst thing to do a cheap little port and really focus on Quest and Steam. But yeah, it's almost like the Xbox. We've already got it. We might as well port it to Xbox type of thing that people were doing for a little while. But man, discontinuing support on the quintessential not Half-Life Alyx, which still, as I told Nick, it never came to PSVR 2 because it's the entire reason people buy $1,000 piece of hardware from Valve. It's rough, man. As someone who really enjoys VR, it makes me very sad.
Yep. Friendly reminder to everybody, by the way, that if you're enjoying the show, please do hit the thumbs up button on the old YouTube app, be it if you're on your desktop and you have to move your mouse, or you just have to actually move your thumb to a thumbs up button. Either way, it's really appreciated because the algorithm demands success of us. Otherwise, they punish us. Equally, if you really, really love what we do, you can always support us directly by heading to patreon.com/Xbox Era. Let's cover some more news. Now I've got those minor words out of the way. As a heads up, next up in news, Playdead, who have made some of my favorite games of all time, including Limbo and Inside. The Playdead co-founder says that the studio is suing him, accusing it of trying to erase his involvement. This headline reads so bad.
I know.
VGC. Chris Scullion, I don't know what your headline's saying. Playdead co-founder says the studio is suing him, accuses it of trying to erase his involvement in Limbo. Okay, so he's being sued, but he's accusing them of trying to erase his involvement of Limbo and Inside. Okay, now I understand.
I think a lot of it came down to what it always does, which is like money and money.
This is Dino Patti, who had a falling out with the original co-founder, Arndt Jensen. And now there's an upcoming court case. He originally told game developer in March that Playdead was threatening legal action, mainly for a LinkedIn post he made in late 2004, which contained a lengthy description of Limbo's development and included an unauthorized photo that was owned by Jensen, who subsequently asked for 500,000 DKK in
Donkey Kong coins.
$77,000 as compensation. I mean, that's petty as hell.
Yep. Everything about this is about petty.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, guys. Get over yourselves. Patty says he hopes the upcoming trial will let him speak openly about the situation without fear of legal consequences, saying the cool thing is that journalists can request access to everything that happens, and I won't hold anything back. I'll basically be legally required to release all the images and materials showing what's gone on. Yeah, I mean, this is really sad to see because they made some fantastic games. Really, really sad news. Fingers crossed it all gets solved without...
the whole studio is pretty much like, when's the last time Playdead put anything out?
A very long time.
When the gameplay guy went and made the amazing Cocoon, one of the other guys went and made the good but not as great, what the hell was it, Somerville, yeah, which was
it was
really cool.
Okay.
But it didn't have the gameplay chops that
it did not have.
Because Cocoon had the gameplay guy.
Oh, Cocoon had the chops, mate. All of the chops.
Like, I really love the vibe in the watching Somerville and seeing the actual real ending is amazing. but getting that wasn't fun at all.
Yeah. But Geometric Interactive, which I think, or Incorporated, which is the Cocoon devs, I mean, they're already partnered up with Annapurna on something new. I loved Cocoon. It's such a cool game. So yeah, fingers crossed for more. Next up, the Better xCloud developer, if you are aware of him, is making a better Xbox store. He's working on, this is Red PHX. He's working on a new GitHub where you can install quality of life features to the Xbox.com website.
2 good ones to start with.
Yeah, you can install these and get these scripts working. And there's some really good stuff where you can hide what he refers to as shovelware games. So
most of ID at Xbox.
Yeah, hidden objects, low budget kind of, let's be honest, the bargain bin dross that you would
like football mini stars. Like he shows the what's new, and it's got all the little like $2 and $6 games.
Yeah. You can filter them out. You can show the exact time the game will be released in your time zone.
Which is nice.
And he's working on more features.
Yeah.
I think this is super cool. And it makes me want to reach out to him and be like, hey, we've got day one. Do you want to like have somewhere where you can host everything and we'll cover the cost? I wonder if you'd be interested in that. I don't know.
I don't think it's about being snobbish, Cazels. I think it's to try and wade through the, like, ID at Xbox were tooting the horn of having 40 releases this week. And I looked through them, and most of them are things that are would fit the shovelware description. Like, there's some amazing games that come out every now and then. But one of the hardest things is discoverability, and I don't know. It's not like I'm saying, how dare you put out a game at that price, but I do think at the same point that people want the ability to filter a little more, and they're just, I'm not going to be interested in that. What's the new bigger games that are coming out? It's cool to have the option.
Sorry. I just got a really bad message. So obviously, for those that didn't know, and I'm not trying to garner sympathy from the guards here. My grandmother died this morning.
Yeah. 95, amazing life. But wow.
Yeah, 95 years old, good innings. And she was an absolutely incredible lady. And we all called her Dottie. Her name was Dorothy. But she lived through World War II. She was one of the kids that got sent out from near London and go live somewhere in Devon or something, or up north. I can't remember, Yorkshire maybe. But either way, I haven't told my kids yet, and I didn't want to tell my kids yet until I saw them because I don't get them back tomorrow. But my brother's kids have just told my kids, so I haven't even had the chance to, which is frustrating.
I'm surprised it wasn't that the ex for once being a jerk, but
oh dear. Okay, I'll have to deal with that in a minute. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Tangents. Putting on a brave face today. But yeah, Red PHX doing some good stuff. I really like it. Next up in news, Stellar Blade is apparently, reportedly, getting ported to the Nintendo Switch 2. That is from playforum.net. And if I translate this, this is an exclusive. And they've said Shift Up is considering developing a Nintendo Switch 2 version of its flagship game, Stellar Blade, following the success of its PC release, which has done extraordinarily well on Steam. No Xbox, but I'm not expecting it because Sony paid for this development, right? So
it's their game, yeah. So this game was going to be canceled, and then Sony is like, nope, this looks cool. We'll publish it. I'm sure they might have IP ownership. They talked about their Project Witches being multi-platform, their other game. But this game doing so well has definitely helped this studio continue to make stuff. And Stellar Blade's really cool. Gameplay-wise, they did talk about how they want to improve the story because it didn't really have the best one, despite what some more ardent defenders of, especially people who love really nice, shapely figures, were trying to claim. Like, it wasn't a great story game, and a lot of the environments were a little meh. But now they got a lot more money, so they can put a lot more time into it, and they definitely had some really cool gameplay ideas. So it's exciting, and going to the Switch 2 is definitely Sony's, see, we're not fully platform, we went to Xbox. approach
fuck
for
the
now.
guy.
But
Fuck those
they
guys.
they are multi-platform. It's just not day one multi-platform. Which also, by the way, like most Microsoft products aren't still that because Nintendo wouldn't give them any dev kits.
Yeah. Also, it depends on the size of the studio.
Yeah, like Avowed and South of Midnight didn't do it because smaller teams trying to figure stuff out and do all that.
Yep.
Compared to Outer
Grounded
Worlds
2
2,
is
which was, and Doom, which was, because they're ready for that.
They're used to that.
Yeah.
Even new Double Fine's new game is Xbox only right now. So,
Yep.
on PC. But yeah.
A lot. It's always going to be that ROI. Is it going to be worth the cost? Because it's not free.
Exactly. Last couple of news stories now. Nintendo Switch 2 continues to have some wonderful times. There's a little Nintendo segment right now. They recently had a direct for Donkey Kong Bonanza, and yeah, it looks pretty fun. I think people are more surprised at how fun it looks versus how it kind of looked pre this direct.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
it looks.
We still don't know who develops it.
Supposedly, rumors it's an offshoot of the Super Mario Odyssey team. So not actually them, as they'd still be probably working on something Mario, but an offshoot from that team because it's got vibes and feels like it. Bringing in Pauline to be the companion for DK.
Peach.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks fun. It's dumb. Like it's good dumb fun. I don't know it's going to be a huge system seller. Mario Kart will still be that just because Mario Kart Deluxe is their best-selling game of all time, if memory serves. But I'm curious. It's a system that really badly needs more Nintendo games because as good as they look, the next story would serve to tell you why I don't think Switch 2 ports will be as plentiful as everyone has surmised.
Yeah, as we probably very much predicted on this show, Chris Dring, via the Game Business, his venture with Jeff Keighley, released some interesting stuff on the third-party published games on Switch 2. Some quotes here: below our lowest estimates, which was one third-party publisher commenting on their Switch 2 software sales at launch, despite it being the fastest selling console ever or something like that. As I said, I don't think people are going to buy a Switch 2 to rush out and get a worse performing version of Cyberpunk 2077.
Well, funny thing is, it performs better than Steam Deck, but I think that should just show people more that the Steam Deck's really weak and always has been. Because this doesn't look like something I would ever want to play if I had any other option. It's a decent looking 30.
Yeah.
Like when they're not in the crowd, like you can still see a lot of popping and stuff in the background when they're on the vehicle here. Like this, I bet you this doesn't feel great if you're used to playing this game at 60 or above. But compared to what you couldn't do on the original Switch hardware, which was terrible when it was new, the Switch 2 hardware is fine when it's new. Yeah. So it's a nice improvement. It's a Switch Pro. I just don't think the Switch and its audience are generally looking for games like this on the whole. Like they are, it's a Nintendo platform. It's a family platform for the people when it's the only thing they have where they would need this type of version. Now with Cyberpunk, it's better because while it's not cross-buy, it is cross-save. You get one cloud save that can jump between any version you have, which immediately I think makes it easier buy for people. You don't have to restart from the beginning at all. But I don't know. I don't think this generation is going to be that different for most third parties.
Yeah. If you want to read more about the third party performance on the Switch 2, Chris Dring's link to his piece is there in the chat. But yeah, it doesn't look great. What can I say? Anyway, running down the show now. I'll tell you what. One thing that I did see that's related to Nintendo. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is now the highest rated game of 2025. Yeah. Thanks, Nintendo fanboys, beating out Expedition 33. So, yeah, there you go. Aren't you all lucky? God. Anyways, last news story of the day. Borderlands 4 previews have hit from multiple websites.
Not us.
They're all pretty positive, except us, because we didn't get
invited. We were not invited to 2K's headquarters back in May like everyone else was.
Yeah.
We're not big enough.
In general,
we've gotten some invites lately. It feels really cool. I obviously can't say anything more. we've started making some lists as a little tiny website. That always feels good because while we're not like, hey, give us money and we'll cover your thing, we can't afford to fly people out there to check it out. So if you want to pay for the airfare in a hotel, obviously these places never ask for editorial or anything. I think the influencer / creator sphere has really understandably made people feel a bit sketchy about trusting when you're paid to go and look at something. But I think a lot of websites our size especially just could never do it. We don't have a big company behind us. Like journalistic ethics don't accept a lunch even, let alone a friggin' flight in a hotel. I do think it has changed in this day where everyone has to kind of pay for themselves and rely on Patreon. And instead of doing hey, why don't you guys, we'll do a Patreon drive so you can pay for us to go do a preview. Like if the company wants to pay for it, cool. It's not going to make us positive.
As long as you trust the people that you're speaking to at the other end, like
Luke's in the chat.
I've definitely done previews where I've been like, I'm not sure about this at all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, speaking of which, we're still debating on Gamescom right now. It is very, very much up in the air. At the minimum, I'm hoping that it will, I will be able to go along, but it means one person trying to cover everything. We're obviously trying to fund it so that Jesse can come and join me as well. We have as always, a crowdfunder going on with our PayPal. It's all available. Links in the chat, in the bottom of the stream, all of that jazz. If you guys can, feel free. If you can't, don't worry about it. But we have to do this because this is the only way we get to cover stuff. So I'll leave it there.
And to talk about Borderlands 4 for a second, since it was the news story and I kind of jump right by it, less meme jokes. Trying to actually be well written and funny is a major focus, and they've got some very good writers working on it. So I think it will be much more in that Borderlands 1 and 2 category writing-wise, and not Borderlands 3 or the pre-sequel or anything. Borderlands 3's writing was objectively different in that it was focused on more relevant current memes a lot, and subjectively I thought that was terrible. So I'm all for that change because I quite like playing Borderlands. I just could not stand listening to any of 3.
Yeah. It's funny, I just saw a tweet, someone replying on Twitter to the Xbox Zero account.
I'm sure it's nice.
What's the point of Xbox thingy? And I don't know if is this meant to be a gotcha? Like, aha, I've gotcha. Is this what this is meant to be? He's put, but I already have a PS5 Pro and a gaming PC using Epic, Steam, and EA. So why do I need an Xbox? You tell me. I was like, you don't need one.
Yeah.
Like, is that meant to be a gotcha?
Give them $70 for Doom the Dark Ages and they'll go, thanks.
Yeah.
Like they'll just you want to spend $80 on the Outer Worlds 2, they'll go, or if you want to have PC Game Pass, they'll be like, hey, like they don't give a shit.
It's so funny to me. Like,
it's the old school. It's the old school thinking. Like, and I get it. It's all we've known for like 40 years. The main focus has been my box, my games, but then people are also super tribalistic and very A versus B versus C. Like even jokingly, Senior Bean, because the LA Lakers sold for $10 billion, as where the Celtics only sold for $6 billion, and he like makes a joke about it. And it's like, we don't get a penny of that money, so what do I care? Because you were born near LA and I was born near Boston. It doesn't actually matter, and that just goes to everything in life. Where people always have to find some comparative thing, because comparisons are easy.
Indeed they are. What's not easy is
being green.
Staying an independent publication in the video game industry. That's not easy. But we can do it because of you guys, and we really appreciate it. So thank you everybody for tuning in today and for your support. We'll leave you with some final thoughts from our sponsor before we clock out for the day. But until Saturday, don't forget, we'll be doing the Xbox Zero podcast live Saturday. Myself, Jesse, Nick, and the lovely Ryan McCaffrey from IGN to talk all about these crazy new Xbox developments. So be sure to tune in. We'll see you there the usual time. Until then, ciao for now.
Bye-bye. ConsoleWarsGame.com.
This is Console Wars the card game. Featuring more famous video games than you can shake a stick at, Console Wars finally allows you to win a war you've been fighting and probably losing on the internet your entire life. Quit being a keyboard warrior with the warm embrace of anonymity to protect you. Now you and your friends can fight on the front lines, battling for incredible franchises, exclusivity, and eventual victory. Collect some of the most famous video game franchises of all time. Protect them with loyal and frighteningly dedicated fans. Brave the volatile video game industry and claim the ultimate victory in the console wars. Your favorite video game making mega corporation needs you. Enlist today. Head to consolewarsgame.com. Pick up a copy of Console Wars the card game, outshine your rivals, and prove that your platform reigns supreme. Out now.
I don't know, I just feel the craving. I see the flesh and it smells fresh and it's just there for the taking. These little girls, they make me feel so goddamn exhilarated. I fill them up, I can't give it up, the pain that I'm just erasing. I tell my lies and I despise every second I'm with you. So I run away and you still stay. So what the is with you? Your feelings, I can't help but break them. I'm sorry, I don't feel the same. My heart inside is constantly hating. I'm sorry, I just throw you away. I don't know why I'm so cold, I don't know why it hurts me. All I wanna do is get with you and make the pain go away. Why do I have a conscience? All it does is with me. Why do I have this torment? All I wanna do is get away. I tell my lies and I despise every second I'm with you. So I run away and you still stay. So what the is with you? Your feelings, I can't help but break them. And I'm sorry, I don't feel the same. My heart inside is constantly hating. I'm sorry, I just throw you away. I tell my lies and I despise every second I'm